I think I have the best job in the world. I get to work with young people from all over the place with very diverse experiences. And some of them have never seen the ocean before. Some of them have grown up around the ocean. So I get to show them things that they may never have seen before, or they get a new understanding of. And that is so special for me. I love it. My name is Verhegge, and I'm a teacher at Pearson College right now. I grew up in Calgary, which is landlocked, and became a marine biologist. So now I'm local here to Vancouver Island, and Pearson College is in Metchosin. My plan throughout high school and my first 3 years of university was to be a doctor. And then I came out to Vancouver Island from Calgary, and I took a course about invertebrates, and it changed my life. It opened my eyes to the marine world, and I said, forget about medicine. I want to be playing with crabs and sea stars and understanding how the ocean works. So my life took a different tack. I finished my undergraduate degree, went traveling, Australia, New Zealand, volunteered at marine stations, did a master's in marine biology, and then have been teaching here. I like to be outside as much as possible, so if I can bring students outside with me, I'm happy to do that. The student makeup of a class is quite diverse, as I said, in terms of experiences and where they've come from. So yeah, we tend to go outside. We do practical hands-on stuff, field trips to wherever we can go, even just down to our dock, measuring temperature and salinity of Petter Bay. I think getting your hands wet and your boots muddy is the way that you're going to learn stuff. And when you actually experience the mud flats, for example, slogging around in the mud and smelling it and putting your hands in it and feeling how cold it is and seeing the worms that we pull out of it and the crabs that live on top, that's when it gets to the heart of learning. This year we did a oceanographic expedition where we paddled the OC-12, and that was an unusual experience, but a good one. Even though students may have grown up around the ocean, they wouldn't necessarily have slogged around in the mud flats. So yeah, it does equalize the playing field in the sense that it's new to everyone. And I do feel like I can teach people things that are new to them. And I tell students this at the end of their time here, that marine science will always be in their heart. I have no doubt. And I hear from alumni, I hear from students even at the end of their time here, what an impact this course has had on them. I know the experiences that they have will stay with them forever. And when they see things back home or when they're traveling, I get messages saying, oh, this reminds me of you. I was at a museum and I saw these deep sea fish. And yeah, I know it has an impact. You know, salmon is not on the marine science syllabus as the IB has set it up, which is a problem for me because we're in a place where salmon are so important. So I take time away from the syllabus and I do teach students about the 5 Pacific salmon species that we have here. We go to a salmon spawning stream. There are 1 or 2 good locations around here that we can do a field trip to. And I want students to understand their life cycle, their significance to the ecosystem. And yeah, I want them to know as much about salmon as possible. I would like to go deeper. Sure. And you know, in marine science, because it's a standard level IB course, we do things fairly superficially, which is all the time we have. I would like to go deeper into different ecosystems. Yeah, just spend more time doing more field, more practical stuff. Once when I was on a field trip with students to a place called Charters Creek, we were walking along the stream and we were looking at chum salmon that were spawning in the stream, and then we heard some crunching. And we went a little bit closer to the stream, and there was a mother bear who was feeding on a salmon. And she was at the base of a tree and just gorging herself on salmon. And then when we looked above, there was a little cub who was hanging out. And we were able to get probably within about 5 meters of this mother whose cub was up the tree, and she was not interested in us at all. Education is clearly very important to me, and I think that is the key. I think if people understand how systems work, whether it's the mud flats or a salmon spawning stream or the Petter Bay, right, oceanography-wise, once people understand, they will work hard to conserve it and work towards the sustainability. So it's all about education. A few reasons. I like to eat salmon. and I eat wild salmon, not farmed salmon for sure. Also their role in the ecosystem, again, the fact that the trees that we have around here are so successful because of the nutrients that the salmon bring. And also just their life cycle is something to admire. Their ability to survive, their instinct, I don't know, a real lesson in today's times. Whether they are out in the ocean and how they link all the trophic levels there, or when they return to spawn, how significant of an impact they have there. The salmon forest idea, the fact that the nutrients from the ocean are being moved by salmon into the forest and nourishing the plants that are there. I think that's the coolest part. It'll be very sad, right? The loss of any species is devastating. But ecologically, they are such an important component of both the ocean and the coastal rainforest that it would be devastating, really. We've got to work hard to protect our salmon. I mean, I think visiting these salmon spawning streams, if you're able to, there's a few local ones, like Goldstream is amazing. Lots of interpretive stuff there. There's a visitor center, and also Charters Creek. I think the thing that makes the most powerful impact is actually seeing the salmon, right? Not touching and disturbing them, but actually seeing them.